Hi and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Cassia. On this channel we discuss all aspects of the Ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today we're going to be talking about the full moon in Virgo, which is happening on the 27th of February 2021 at 3:17 a.m. in the Northern Hemisphere. And it is occurring at 8 degrees of Virgo. So this is going to be a really beautiful full moon. I feel a lot of healing coming through for us, a lot of deep healing and a lot of illumination, a lot of optimism, a lot of positive, beneficial energy. And the full moons are oftentimes an energy of releasing. And so there is going to be that healing release, that a release on an emotional level, that release on a mental level for a lot of us as well. But there's also just this incredibly beautiful energy coming in. It's like we're releasing to make room for all this beautiful positive energy that is coming through. We have a lot of really nice aspects going on here. We have the sun loosely conjunct Venus. So this is, and they're in the sign of Pisces. So this is a beautiful, very creative, very intuitive energy, a very romantic, idealistic kind of vibe. And it's interesting because we have that, and we also have Mercury conjunct Jupiter. And so this is another energy, and this is, of course, in the sign of Aquarius that these two planets are meeting. But this is another energy that is really expansive. So we have this expansion of the mind. We have this beautiful Piscean energy, this beautiful feeling energy, this powerfully creative energy. And then we have the moon in Virgo, which is the counterpoint to that Pisces energy, to the sun. We always have the moon opposing the sun during a full moon. And that Virgo energy, which is all about really the way I'm seeing it with this is purity. It's that energy of purity, that energy of perfecting ourselves. And so we do want to watch out when we have these Virgo moons. As somebody who has a natal Virgo moon, I can vouch for this. We want to watch out for that perfectionism creeping in, right? That can be sort of one of the downfalls of Virgo energy. It is an energy that is constantly perfecting itself, constantly striving to become better. However, we don't want to get so involved with that we become overly critical of ourselves or of others. So this is an energy for releasing that perfectionism, releasing that self-criticism, and that criticism wherever we feel that cropping up in our relationships and our outer circumstances. Sometimes we project that energy outward to other people as well. If I have high expectations of me, that may lead me to have high expectations of you. But it's really about meeting everybody where they're at. And if they resonate with us, then they resonate with us. And if they don't, then they don't. But it's okay for them to be exactly who, how, where, and where they are. Right? So really understanding that and turning that back on ourselves. It's okay for us to be who, how, when, and where we are. And really accepting that, sinking into that energy of acceptance and that energy of release and that energy of allowing, but also at the same time paying attention to what we're being shown. With this Mercury conjunct Jupiter energy going on, our minds, we are expanding as far as our minds, as far as our perceptions, our communication, our outlook goes. We're really, there's a lot of big energy there for making real progress in those areas. And we also have a supportive trine going on with Uranus to the moon and a sextile going on with Uranus to the sun. So Uranus playing, he's in there too. He's talking to these planets. He's influencing us. He is inviting us to evolve, to step further down that evolutionary pathway, to really expand, right? Once again, this energy of expansion. It's great how these planets are all connected, right? Because we have Mercury and Jupiter in the sign of Aquarius, which Uranus rules, and Mercury being the ruler of this full moon, as it is the ruler of the sign Virgo, which the moon is in. And so they're all connected with each other. They're all having these conversations. They're all supporting each other in this expansion, in seeing beyond, in seeing from that higher perspective, seeing ourselves and our own healing journey from a higher perspective, really allowing ourselves to evolve, surrendering into our evolution is very much the energy here that I am feeling present with this full moon, just a lot of that. And so we do want to look at, like I said, the only thing that I see really being too challenging here is that the Sun conjunct Venus energy opposing the Moon. And so we want to pay attention to that in our relationships. And those may come up as a focus for people with that Sun and that Venus energy. But it's also just that energy of being loving, of being compassionate, of really connecting with other people. And so we're going to notice how it is that we are able to connect with others. If there is anything that stands in our way of being able to do that, we're going to see that and begin to get an understanding of that so that we can move into a deeper energy of connection. That Piscean energy is all about connection, and it's connection with the whole. And the thing that Pisces and Virgo energy have in common is that they are both about service. Right? It's Pisces is service to the greater collective. Virgo is service a lot of times in the immediate world, but really to the larger whole as well. And so we're really seeing and understanding the ways that we can fit into that puzzle, the ways that we can be of service, the ways that we can make a difference. This is also, there's a big emphasis on self-care here. And so that's where we see another, with this Virgo versus Piscean energy, right? The Pisces energy can sometimes get lost, as can the Virgo, really, in helping too much and not taking good enough care of the self. So this is a moon where we're really being called to self-care as well. And with that Sun conjunct Venus energy, that can also have to do with self-love and self-care. So are we caring for ourselves? Are we able to make ourselves that priority to really take the time that we need to take out for our own wellness, for our own well-being? Mental health is going to be, I feel like, a big thing with this moon. How we care for our mental health. And then, of course, our physical health as well, and the understanding of how that's all connected. It's really interesting how they're bringing my attention right now as I'm speaking to how this moon's happening just a few days before the 3-3 portal, which is about the mind, the body, and the spirit. And so really we're being called into an energy of looking at the mind, body, spirit connection and how we are caring for all of those different aspects of ourselves. There's also a beautiful empowering energy as we still have this Mars trine Pluto energy going on, supporting as well, and really encouraging us to feel more confident, to step into this next evolving version of ourselves that is wanting to come through. So just a lot, and of course that Saturn square Uranus energy too. So a lot of energy facilitating our evolution, our soul's evolution, the releasing of anything that's holding us back, any emotional patterning, any mental patterning, right? Any unrealistic expectations. We're being asked to release unrealistic expectations of ourselves as well as unrealistic expectations of others. All we can do is strive to be the best that we can be every day. And if we strive to be the best that we can be, we can feel good in that, and we can know that our best is going to look different on different days. And that is absolutely okay. It's about that self-love, that really giving ourselves that space to be and to exist and to be human, and just to understand that like this is not a perfect process, but as long as we are doing it, as long as we are engaged, as long as we are open and willing and surrendering, right, and moving forward, continuing to progress, continuing to grow, we can do that at whatever pace is comfortable for us, and that is okay. And that pace is going to vary from day to day. So it's really about accepting and loving the self, moving deeper into that, and understanding when and where, what is coming up that keeps us from being able to do that fully, from being able to embrace ourselves and love ourselves fully. What old mental and emotional conditioning is sort of cropping up, and how can we release that? How can we move through that? If you guys want assistance with that, please reach out to me. The different things that I offer are in the description box below, along with my email. So we're going to get right into this. We're going to pull a couple Monology cards. Clear. Full moon in Virgo 2021. Let's get some energy. Conclusions are in reach, within reach. Full moon eclipse. All right, beautiful energy coming out. And this is with this energy of releasing, we can often expect conclusions and a time for healing. And so this is like situations in our lives. This is conclusions when it comes to cycles, when it comes to that emotional patterning, that mental patterning and stuff. We're concluding some of that energy, and then we're stepping into this is that deep healing energy that we're talking about, right? So it's wrapping things up, releasing things. just phases, right? The moon is all about cycles and phases. So phases of our lives that are wrapping up, things that are coming to fruition. I'm feeling manifestations that are coming to fruition as well. Remember, the full moon is a time of harvest. So some of those harvests coming through, and a lot of healing energy. It's like, I'm also feeling for some people, it's like situations that were at a stalemate or where there wasn't any growth. Those are concluding now. Situations that were sort of preventing us from fully stepping into our healing are being concluded as well, so that we are able to step fully into that healing process. Whatever was hindering our healing process, some of that stuff is concluding. It is finishing and ending and phasing out, so that we can focus more deeply on our healing. And that's guidance for today, for this full moon as well, is like, get rid of all those outer distractions and really sink into your healing process, sink into your emotional process, sink into whatever is coming up for you, and just allow it. This is really an energy of allowing our emotions. Like, the moon in Virgo is not very emotional. It's a highly logical energy. And so it's like learning how to do that, learning and tapping into, pulling from some of that Pisces energy, right? Because we're balancing those two polarities. And like, how do I allow myself to safely tap into my emotions? How do I create a safe space for myself within which to do that? Is sort of that energy. Also that I'm feeling. And then we have this new start is coming, right? So these conclusions that are these conclusions to these things that were sort of holding up our healing process, or preventing it, or just stifling the flow of that healing process, being removed and concluded, so that we can step deeply into our healing and have this fresh start that's waiting on the other side of that. So endings and beginnings, things wrapping up, things beginning. And then we have don't let pride get in your way, which is interesting. So for some people with this, when this new start comes, we're being asked to step out of our ego and to step out of our pride, because for some people that's part of what's been blocking this healing, is our attachment to the things that we're not wanting to release, our attachment to, and this is so funny, this is reminding me of a reading I just did for today for Instagram, and I actually mentioned the full moon in Virgo and how I felt like some of these energies were going to be coming up for people during the full moon or climaxing. So that's right on point here. That's super interesting. It's like our attachment to our ego, our attachment to these aspects of our lives and of ourselves that really help to build our sense of who we were, and really needing to let go of those, needing to surrender those, so that we can experience this healing that is waiting for us, and these fresh new beginnings that are on their way. But first, like, we have to allow the things to conclude, the things to end that need to end. We need to release the things that are wanting to be released. And our pride and our ego is part of what may get in the way, and has possibly been getting in the way of us doing that. And so it's really just it's almost like I'm thinking of a situation where for some reason it's like we thought we kept saying, like, I'm right about this, I'm right about this, I'm right about this, and then all of a sudden we realize, oh, I was wrong about that, right? Right and wrong are relative terms, but you guys know what I mean. And we're like, oh shit, like, what do I do now? Like, I don't want to look stupid. Like, I was convinced that this was the way that it was, and now I am completely wrong, and like, what do I do from here? Right? And this could be in any area of our lives that this is coming up. Maybe we put a lot of work and dedication into something that we thought was meant for us, and then we find out it really isn't, or we don't really want it, but we feel like we have to accept it anyway, and we have to keep going because we already put so much effort into it. And it's like, no, that's not true. We can change our course anytime we want. And it's really a lot about, as we're bringing in this healing, as we're bringing in this beautiful light to our being, we are shifting, and we're being asked to allow things to shift, to just allow that natural shifting process to happen. And then we have it's time for action, new moon in Aries. All right, tell me more about this new moon in Aries card. Tell me more. Okay, your commitment is being tested. So this is, if there's something that you've been wanting, if there's something that you've been desiring, and this has to do with that fresh start energy here. This has to do with this new beginning, right? The energy that's wanting to come in. It's like, how committed are you to that? You said that you wanted this thing. You said that you wanted to do this thing. You had this new idea, but you haven't put any action into it yet. So do you really want it or not? Is sort of like what the universe, I feel like Spirit's going to be sending out testers for people too, just to see, like, is this something that you really want? Here's an opportunity for that. Here's a way to step closer to that. Are you going to take the action around that that's necessary to have that thing? How committed are you to your goal? And if you are, then it's time to take those action steps that are necessary in order to achieve whatever it is that you are wanting to achieve. And then we have a new romantic cycle begins. And we have worked through your fears. And so for some people, there's a lot of fears that need to be released. Because there's also a new cycle that wants to happen in love here for a lot of people. And in order for that new cycle to happen, fears need to be worked through. Fears need to be released. For some people, this time to take action and commitment is being tested also has to do with a relationship. It's like, are you able, if there is a new cycle that you're wanting to initiate, whether this is a new cycle with the same partner, where you're wanting to do things differently, or whether this is something new that you're wanting to undertake. And for some people, this has to do with self-love as well. But it's like, are you ready to take the actions? How committed are you to that new cycle? How committed are you to doing things differently? And are you ready to take the action that's required around that and work through the fears that are coming up? Are you willing and able to do that? To step up when it is necessary to step up. Yeah. Yep. Any other energies here? We have a personal issue reaches resolution, and you're very close to achieving your goal. Right? So this is more of that conclusions are within reach. Like whatever these issues, a lot of these perceived blocks and limitations and issues that we've been experiencing, these obstacles are being removed and are really kind of like dissolving and being released. It's really interesting energy. And so some of that resolution has to come through action, right? Be bold and make the first move. So it's like they're being dissolved and released, but there are things that we have to do to facilitate that process at the same time. It's like it's being made easier. It's sort of like what looked like a mountain is now clearly a molehill. Like we still have to climb over that hill, but it's a lot smaller and it's a lot less steep than that mountain looked. And so it's like now the spirit is, it's like we're being given that little push, that little nudge. Like, okay, now is the time to do this. See, it's not that scary. It's not as hard as you thought. Now that you've released some of these fears, right? Now that you've released that ego, that pride, that attachment, that whatever, like you can see that it's not as scary as you thought it was. Now, are you willing to embark upon that journey? And are you ready to take the steps that you're guided to take in order to achieve whatever it is that you're wanting to achieve here? Yeah, because there's a lot of, and with this Cancer energy, there's a lot of home, that's a lot of family energy, all of that stuff. So especially issues surrounding home and family, you're very close to achieving whatever your goal is in those situations. They are close to being resolved, and you're going to be able to see a way forward. That's essentially it right there. All of this long-winded stuff that I've been saying, like the simplest way to break it down is like seeing a way forward where you maybe didn't see a way before. But like once you see the way forward, you're being guided to take the action that you need to take in order to continue to move forward on that path. All right, we're going to pull a couple secret language of light cards. Clear. Let's get a couple secret language of light cards for this Virgo full moon. So we have soulmating and alignment coming out. Yeah, so a lot of healing around relationships for a lot of people. This is really interesting energy. And so I'm feeling this is coming into alignment with people of like vibration. And this isn't necessarily just romantic, right? Our soulmates are not just romantic. They are friends, they are family. They are all kinds of different things. So this is like soul tribe energy coming into alignment, and that is attracting in your soulmates in all their ways, shapes, and forms. And I'm also feeling this for some people as like, if you have been sort of dating around and you've had a lot of different relationships lately and they haven't been working out, but they have been teaching you things. That was the whole point. And so don't get discouraged. Those different lessons, those different experiences with those different partners were bringing you more into alignment. They were showing you what you want and what you don't want, so that you're able to move forward towards what it is that you truly want and really be in alignment with that energy. And so it's like, don't get discouraged by that process. It is actually bringing you the clarity that you need to really decide what it is that you want in a partner, and teaching you the lessons you need to learn to prepare you for that partner. And I feel that energy coming in. And so for some people, that's part of what we need to release and let go of, is like some of those relationships that like brought us to a certain point but aren't bringing us any further, and just seeing them for what they were. Or, you know, for some people, just coming into more alignment in their relationships, getting on the same page. But yeah, this is also attracting in a soul family, attracting in a variety of different soulmates. As our vibration becomes more clear, we are coming into alignment to manifest more of the people who are meant to be with, that we vibe with, our tribe, right? And then we have joy and the divine masculine coming out. So I love this energy. This is for some out there, this is definitely that energy of attracting in your divine masculine. But this is also the energy of the healing of our own inner divine masculine, right? There's a lot of joy. It's like he is experiencing, that side of our essence is experiencing joy. We're understanding how to tap into our joy, how to bring that joy to that masculine side of our essence, and to allow that joy I'm feeling to be that fueling passion that fires him up, right? Our masculine side is our action side. So there's a lot of energy around healing and releasing so that we can then take action, make forward movement, be bold, right? This is masculine energy. Be bold and make the first move. And so it's really tapping into our joy is igniting the fire and the passion in our masculine energy that is going to help us to take action and to move forward in the path that we are choosing. It's like that we're bringing in, because the masculine essence, like, it can act from a place of pure logic and detachment and sort of be in that dry, kind of colder energy. Or it can act from that place of joy and passion and just like zest for life. And that's when that fire is really lit and activated. And that's when we make some incredibly impactful moves, right? And so that's more what it is tapping into that joy, healing that divine masculine side of our essence through joy. Anything else here? Yeah, and I'm feeling that with the Mercury conjunct Jupiter energy. Yeah, just really that joy, that positivity, that optimism. It's like that aspect of our essence really feeling that optimism, feeling like it's moving forward. It's like, I feel for a lot of us, it's like we were having trouble making that forward progress and movement. Like we were kind of going through the motions, but it wasn't necessarily, we didn't feel that charge with it. We didn't feel that passion, and that joy is reigniting our passion. So we are able to move forward, but like, it's like there's a spring in our step now kind of energy. And then we have enlightenment and transformation. Ooh, yes, this is what I'm talking about, you guys. Enlightenment and transformation. So I'm feeling this really with that masculine side of our essence, with the divine masculine energy right now. A huge transformation in that aspect of our energy, right? But just in our energy as a whole, just a whole new level of transformation that is occurring. And I love how these cards both have the earth in them, right? And so it's like the level of enlightenment and the level of transformation that we are receiving is also directly impacting the earth, and it's really helping to transform and raise up the earth into this new to really continue anchoring in that 5D template, that 5D consciousness and energetics. So I really love that. But it's just like us seeing and understanding. There's a lot with this Uranus energy, with this Mercury conjunct Jupiter energy. supporting this full moon, right? There is that deeper sense of enlightenment, and Virgo energy is always working to seek, right? It's that purification energy, working to seek enlightenment. And so really those understandings coming through, those transmissions coming through, all of these situations, right, that are getting ready to conclude, everything that we've learned from them, really adding to this sense of enlightenment that is really transforming our being right now. And as we said, also transforming the entire planet as a result, right, because we are all connected. So that's your service. That's what Spirit is saying. This is your service to humanity. When we talk about Virgo energy, when we talk about its polarity with Pisces energy, we talk about that energy of the servant, right? That is your service. Enlightenment and transformation. As you transform and you step deeper into your enlightenment, you transform everyone and everything. And so the more people we have in this process, the more powerful that energy, the more traction that energy gets. And so that's really gorgeous. I really like that. And the light beings on the bottom of the deck. They're coming through. They're assisting us in this enlightenment and this transformation. Their assistance, they're going to be there assisting during this full moon, as they always are. I look at new moons and full moons as sort of portal type energies. And so the light beings really, they're really tapped into our process right now. They're really assisting us wholeheartedly. There are so many different groups of light beings that are assisting us right now and are heavily invested in our enlightenment and our transformation, because it impacts so many in the multiverse. And so yeah, they're coming through. They're here. They're fully supporting you. They're supporting the work that you're doing. They're wanting to connect with you, to assist you in this process of releasing and transforming. So I really enjoy that energy. And on that tip, we're going to pull a couple Work Your Light cards. Clear. Any guidance from the light beings? Okay, and we have the Crumbling. What are you clinging to? And get grounded. Empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. So they want to remind you, like we've been talking about, what are you clinging on to? Is it an old identity? Is it an old belief structure? Is it people, places, and things that are no longer serving you? Allow those things to crumble away. Is it the old 3D paradigm? There are many of us, even as we are fully invested in this new earth, who still cling on to aspects of the 3D paradigm as well. That energy coming through strongly. That's interesting. And I do this too. I can relate to this too. So they're saying, like, pay attention to that. Pay attention to where you are still plugged into the matrix, right? Pay attention to where you are still clinging into aspects of your three-dimensional nature, so that you can release those and let those go. Because as long as we're still clinging on to aspects of that, we can't fully ascend. So that's really fascinating energy. And then get grounded, because we are, if we want to assist in this transformation of the earth through this enlightenment, we through the these light codes and these high vibrational energies the light beings are pouring in for us right now, the planets are pouring in for us right now. In order to assist the earth, we have to be grounded in her. We have to be connected to her. And also with a lot of high vibrational energy, we just want to do that. We want to do that anyway, because it's a lot easier for us if we do. Yeah, so those are two messages. Any other messages from the beings of light? Pillar of light, your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. So this is that confirmation that your vibration is rising right now. And so things either rise to meet you or they don't. The things that don't, let them go. That message, like, continuing to come through. And it's also just this understanding right there, reminding us again and again, we are the oracle. Yes, they are here to answer our questions. Yes, they want to communicate with us. Yes, we can reach out to them and they will answer if we respond with true loving intent, right? With the desire for service to humanity, service to the light, in service to the light. If we reach out to them in pure devotion and service to the light, they will answer in the same, all right? However, they're reminding us we are the oracle. Most of the people watching this channel, you guys are starseeds, you are light workers, you are the same beings that you seek to connect with. So connect with yourself. Connect with yourself. You hold all of that wealth of information within you, and they can guide you, but really, like, their number one thing that they want to do is guide you back towards your own connection with yourself, your own connection with your true multidimensional nature. So they really want you to remember that you are a multidimensional being, and tap more into that, feel more into that, embrace that. And then the Age of Light, you've been training for this for lifetimes. You know exactly what to do. You've been doing it for lifetimes. That's the other message coming through from them, okay? That goes right in line with you are the oracle, right? If you feel like they said, they're always there to assist. However, like, we feel like we don't know what to do, but we do if we tap into our inner knowing, if we go with our gut instinct, right? We know what to do because we've been doing it. This isn't the first time we've done any of this stuff. We've done it many, many, many times. This is where we come in and we perfect all of that, right? That's that Virgo energy. But we perfect it in a way that's not perfectionistic, if that makes sense. But we're putting together everything that we've learned. We're calling it in this lifetime so that we can command it, so that we can use it in order to raise everyone up. All right? So, like, you know exactly what to do, so just do it. That's, just do it. Just follow your heart, follow your instinct, follow where you're guided. And just know that, yes, some of that guidance comes from them, but really it comes from your true self, your own multidimensional self, which is your ultimate guide. Clear. All right, any final messages from the Starseed Oracle, from the Beings of Light? Anything else you want us to know right now? Anything else, or am I just beating a dead horse here? Sometimes I do that. I just like to get all the messages, you guys. Okay. We have lifting the veil and you got the love. Question everything. Everything unaligned must go. And codependency boundaries. So question everything in your reality. Really, you're being shown what is not in resonance, like we've been talking about. So release that. Let that go. They just want to harp on that over and over and over again. If you really want to step into this new embodiment, this full embodiment of yourself, you got to let all that stuff go that's not in resonance. You can tell just by the way it feels when you're around it. And for a lot of people with codependency and boundaries, this has to do with codependencies. This has to do with relationships, any types of relationships. This has to do with learning how to set your energetic boundaries, learning how to understand what those are, how to enforce those, and what we are dependent on. And we can be codependent on a lot of things. It doesn't just have to be people. So what are we dependent upon, and how can we release that dependence and understand that we have everything we need within us already, right? And then on the bottom of the deck, we have Messenger, Sirius energy, bringing harmony and balance. I love that. I'm getting the feeling that we may have some Sirian energies pulling in to assist us during this full moon. A Sirius energy is very high vibrational. It is so high vibrational that it takes quite a while to be to the point where you can channel that energy actively. But that energy can come through and assist us, and we can call upon it, absolutely. And so I'm feeling some of that energy coming through to assist in this gentle process of healing and releasing that's going on with this full moon, this illumination process. Restoring some of our harmony and balance, helping to restore our equilibrium. It's sort of like a tonic. I'm feeling that Sirian light and energy coming through for us like a tonic that's sort of like quenching our bodies, quenching our souls, quenching our cells, and rejuvenating and restoring us. So that's really, really beautiful. Oh, yeah. Oh, I love this card. I think this is my favorite card. Just the energy that I get from it when I look at it. Yeah, I love that. Oh, it emotionally moves me when I see that card. Yeah, you are the light. You are the light. You are the light. This is the process of unbecoming, right? The process of becoming is also the process of unbecoming. And stepping back, like that harmony and balance. That's what we naturally are. That's the energy that we naturally exist in. So it's not like we're finding and seeking harmony and balance. We're restoring it. That's why we said with the tonic, restorative. It's restoring what was already there, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful. All right. I think we're going to wrap it up right there. I love you guys. I appreciate you so very, very much. If you liked this video, like this video, shares, comments, likes, subscribes, all of that stuff is fantastic. And it helps to get the messages out there. It helps the channel to keep growing. Although we trust that everyone who's meant to find these videos absolutely will. There are links down below to donate if you feel so moved to do so. And my email with the description of my services if you would like an energy healing. If you would like a personal reading, I do combination reading healing sessions, which are really powerful. Theta healing. Just reach out to me. We'll figure something out. Let me know what you have going on, and we will tailor something to meet and suit your needs. And on the bottom of the deck here, I also like the water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. So that's what that Virgo energy, tending to the body, right? Tending to the body as well as the soul, remembering the connection, right? The triangle, the mind, body, and the spirit, and tending to all those aspects of the self, really getting that rest if we need it, really welcoming in that Syrian energy, right? To restore and replenish us, to nourish us, and to really just be gentle, be loving, and be tender with yourselves during this full moon. Love you, appreciate you, and I will talk to you soon.